Let's talk purpose. So, this topic stems from a conversation that I had with my son after his return from the college tour. And his concern was that he didn't know what he wanted to do for the remainder of his life. It was kind of too early for him to decide what major he wanted to pursue at this point in time. He feels as though that's a very important decision to make. And he was too young to make that decision. However, he felt as though the other kids knew what they wanted to do, which made him feel a little intimidated, as if something was wrong with him. But how many of you know that that's not the norm? Not most kids know what they want to do for the rest of their days. You know? As a matter of fact, I remember growing up, not only in my household, but in the households of some friends, associates, and other peers, that we were encouraged to take the slave path, which was go to school, get a degree, get a good job with benefits, work 30 years of your life, hopefully earn a pension and retire with medical benefits and live the remainder of your days, hopefully in good health, probably not, but hopefully. That's why if it's not, you have those good medical benefits. And just being happy that you made it out. That's what I remember. I don't remember being persuaded into entrepreneurship, being independent. I was already an independent thinker, but being self-sufficient. I don't remember having that type of guidance. Do you? Any of you? Did your parents motivate you to becoming an entrepreneur? Or did they motivate you to work on a plantation? Which one? Because I remember that parents, some, not all, would typically guide you by their own life experience, right? Because that's all they knew to do. So they wanted you to have it easy. So they thought that working for a big corporation, master had a big plantation. He's paying well too. They felt as though that was the best route for you, even though you could not guarantee that you would even be on that plantation for 30 years. But it was the best route for you to take. Don't rely on yourself. Don't tap into that power that we have within. Don't believe in you. Believe in the master. I don't know where this conversation is going, but let me get back to the point. Are we persuading our children? Are we encouraging them to dream? Are we exposing them to things, places, circumstances that takes them outside of their comfort zone? That gives them information that they wouldn't typically learn in school or from friends? Are we encouraging them to be independent, to step out of the familiar surroundings to stretch themselves, to challenge themselves? Are we encouraging them and helping them to build their esteem so that they know that they're enough and they won't begin to know what they're truly made of until they are put in situations to where they're tested? So they can't be fearful. You can be fearful. You can't allow the fear to stop you from moving forward and exploring. Are we encouraging our children to go out into the world to learn more about who they are? Because I look at college differently these days. I'm not looking at college as, yeah, go there and get a piece of paper and let's get a job. No, I'm looking at college as a place for exploration. This is where you learn who you are. This is where you learn what you're capable of doing on your own without too much guidance. This is where you're exposed to people from all over the country, sometimes world, depending on what school you choose. This is where you get to try different curriculums and get exposure to figure out if it's for you or not. This is a testing ground. College is a testing ground on so many levels, not only academics, but socially, and as far as learning what you lack, if anything, which just means there's some untapped source inside of you, that we have to activate. And it's learning what you're good at. What are you truly good at? You will find that out on a college campus. And I'm willing to pay for that. I'm willing to pay for that experience because I have a different mindset when it comes to college. And it can be based upon my personal experience when I went to school, but not too much, but a little bit. It's more associated with life and what I've learned over these years. It's not exactly how we were taught. Some things are mysteries. Like they say, the Bible, it's a bunch of allegories and mysticism. It's not always literal. It's not until you get into those pages and you ask for things to be revealed. Once you're on that path and you're moving, then revelation comes. And it goes deeper than the words that are on that page. That's what life is. That's what life is. So I want to encourage my baby. Yeah, we're going. You're going. You're going. And you're going to learn who you are along the way. We know exactly what we must do to prepare you for this new journey. Thank you. And I wouldn't have known unless I had put him in the position of going on the tour. But it helps me to prepare myself to be the support and the guide that he needs to be successful in this life. And success doesn't mean that he's going to get it every time. It doesn't. And I don't expect that. What it means is we're going to move forward, fearful or not. And we're going to learn what you're made of along the way. Which means, into me I see. The relationship that you build with yourself is about knowing who you are. And you don't know who you are unless you're willing to go deep, through the pain, through the the questions, the doubts, the fears. You got to dive deep into that. And so, really, this whole conversation was about, did you know what you wanted to do at 18? And are you living the dream that you have for yourself? Are you on a purpose-driven journey? Meaning that you're living your purpose, you're happy, you're fulfilled. You have tapped into that stream of joy and happiness, and you're doing something that you don't even care if you get paid for, because you know your dream will make room for you. Maybe if you move on that path along the journey, it's going to reward you with everything that you need and desire. So money won't be a factor if you're living the purpose-driven life, if you're consistent, if you even know what that is. Do you know, I was told that every person that has suppressed their dream, pushed it to the side, or probably didn't even have the ability to dream, is probably dying at a faster rate than those who are. Because those emotions that are associated with knowing that your dream is dying within you, they begin to wear down on your organs. They begin to cause symptoms. So that emotion, that's suffering, that sickness, starts the physical manifestation of it. And so that's one reason why people are suffering with illnesses. They have suppressed the happy in them. It doesn't mean they don't laugh. It doesn't mean that they don't know how to have a good time. What it means is they're not connected to that source that supplies them unlimited joy, regardless of what situation they're in. They know that when they get up every day, they're connected to purpose. So they see the world differently. Are y'all living that dream? Are you living in that dream? I just want to know. And if you're not living that dream, how are you living? How are you living? Are you happy? Are you feeling good like you want to feel? Mental clarity, emotional intelligence, physical wellness. Do you have all of those things? Purpose. Purpose. I believe that as long as you have breath in your body, that you have an opportunity to live that dream. And some may call me crazy because I picked up one day, packed my truck, and just started driving. Didn't have a plan, didn't have a clue as to why or what I was going to do. Didn't know. Anytime someone asked me, my answer was, I don't know. I'm just here, I'm being led. Just gonna follow. That is about building that relationship with you and trusting yourself enough to know when you are being guided, when your intuition is speaking, and to develop your discernment. It's about trusting you. It's about trusting you in the and the Creator. That God in you that speaks, because everyone has that. Now, some of y'all gods may be dormant. Why did I say that? I don't know. But it still exists inside of you. It really does. You have to jump off the cliff, though. You have to be afraid, but not afraid to jump anyway. See what happens. Now, if I had an opportunity to think about my jump off the cliff, I probably wouldn't have done it. Sometimes you just got to move. I think that's all the time. You get a hit from the God in you, move. Don't think twice about it. Don't analyze it. Don't break it down. Build it back up. Don't come up with 1,000 excuses as to why you can't. Just move. The rest will work itself out. That is the best part about the journey, may I say. And having the testimony of all the miracles that happen on the journey, that just proves that the God in you exists, and the Creator of all that is, was, and ever shall be is in everything surrounding you. So there's no failure. It's just movement, okay? Forward movement. And so back to the purpose-driven life. If you haven't found your purpose, y'all, it's not too late. You know, some of y'all have been thinking about something for so long. And you just keep pushing it to the side because you feel like it's too late. You're too old. You're too this, you're too that. As long as you still have breath, it's not too nothing. Get to it. Get to it. That is the theme of my life. Get to it. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to our children, I'm offering a suggestion. You don't have to take it. I'm just talking. I'm just sharing something that I'm going through. You can encourage your children to live life, exploring all of the options that they have and learning more about who they are, learning about themselves prior to getting all caught up in loving somebody else, because you can't love them better than you love yourself, right? And if you haven't really, accomplished that task, which is to love yourself wholly, how are you going to do that for someone else? So encourage them not to become slaves, even though some of the dreams are related to enslavement, and that's okay. Somebody has to work on a plantation. I work on a plantation right now, so I'm not coming against it. I'm just telling you what it is. I'm very conscious of what it is. But if it fulfills them and brings them joy, that's what we want to motivate our kids to do. We don't want them to do what we think they should do, because they weren't born for us. We are the vessel mothers for them to come into this world. Fathers, you are contributors to that. We are how they get here. But that's it. We guide, support, train them into becoming the individuals that they are. We are to guide them in a way that they know so much about themselves, that they love themselves more than anything on this world, which is synonymous to loving God, because the God that we know and love, we carry on the inside of us, right? So loving ourselves more than anything in this world means that we would care for ourselves. And we are committed to the purpose, the dream, which will be projected out to others. So when you're living purpose, that means you're sharing it with others. And that is how the universe works when it comes to energy. And I don't mean to get all mystical. Let me pull it back. Encourage your kids to dream. And it's okay if they don't know what they want to do at 18. It's pretty early, don't you think? But just love them along the journey and refrain from projecting our own fears and limiting beliefs on them based upon our own experiences. We want our children to have their own experiences. They may be very similar to our own because they're in that environment. However, our experiences were to teach us lessons, and our lessons we are to pass on to our children so that they will not repeat. But in order for them not to repeat, that means not only must you learn, but you must self-correct, breaking the pattern. Okay? So if you haven't done any work, then expect to see the same thing in your children. Purpose-driven life. That's what we're striving for. And if you think it's too late for you, then it is. But it's not too late for your children. It's not. Let's encourage them to be better than we were. Peace.